name is Dr. Trevor Miller. I've been an integrated doctor since 1995-ish. I have practiced chiropractic since 95. I've been a functional medicine doctor. I am triple certified in functional medicine, once through the IFM, once through the University for Functional Medicine, and lastly by the Kalish Institute. I'm also certified in acupuncture as well as, let's see, chiropractic, acupuncture, low back. There's all kinds of. I've led a very blessed life, but tonight we're going to start to talk about pain-free versus optimal health. And I started to become very fascinated with optimal health when my mother died in 2012, because optimal health is not just living in the absence of pain. Because if that was true, my mother didn't really have any pain, but she still had an abdominal aortic aneurysm. And it wasn't until I discovered genetics and looking at the genetics of the family, I noticed that there is a SNP, a KI 1099A SNP, that causes us to not utilize K2 well. So mom was a ticking time bomb with this abdominal aortic aneurysm, and we assume because of how quickly and unexpectedly she went, that's why she did not wish to have an autopsy. So we didn't actually get to see why, but we knew that she had the aneurysm, and we knew that it was to the point where they could get caged. Anyway, so there's a lot of things that can be happening in your body that are not associated with pain that can be causing problems. So when we look at pain, your body basically has a threshold. And the best way to do this is if you take your hand and then you pinch right here. And as you pinch and I talk to you, after a few seconds, you all of a sudden don't feel the pain in there anymore. And that's called accommodation. So as I was squeezing, there was still pressure, but the pain went away. And does that mean that the problem is gone? No, it just means that your body accommodated to it. It's a survival mechanism of the body. If you hurt too bad, it drags you down too much. You can't actually go perform. You can't run away from the tiger. You can't go to work. You can't do these things. And it's starting to look at health from the aspect of, I don't want to be just pain free, but I actually want to accelerate my health, and I want to excel at life. I want to be doing the things that I did when I was in my 20s and 30s, in my 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. And we all see people that do that, and we wonder, well, can that happen for me? And it absolutely can. So the first thing you have to realize is pain free does not mean you're healthy, and it doesn't mean that you have optimal health. Pain free just means that either you don't have enough stimulus to break through the threshold, or yeah, you may be healthy. And so that's where you got to start to kind of test. That's where you got to see what's happening and what's going on with you, and start to tweak those things. So that's kind of where pain free is. Most of my chiropractic patients just look for pain free. My functional medicine patients, those guys are the guys that are looking for that optimal health, that longevity, especially my patients that are in their 70s and 80s. They are wanting that, they want to eke everything they can get out of that. And so, what does it take to have optimal health? So, now optimal health is a much different animal because there are so many different aspects to health. So we can start to look at blood work, and we start to optimize those values. The best one that I am most, I shouldn't say I am most familiar with. The one my wife is most familiar with is she loves optimizing women's hormones. And so this has many different effects. It's letting the 50s and 60-year-olds feel like they're 20 again. And it's letting the people who are 20 and 30 that can't do that are having a problem with conception or things of that nature, optimizing those hormones and figuring out what's going on so that they can conceive naturally. For me, I like to look at the body's engine, and I like to look in the microbiome and in the gut, and I like to test in there and start to move people towards healthier lifestyle, because that's part of it. You can't have optimal health without having an optimal lifestyle. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be 100% of the time. No, that means you really have to aim for that 80 to 90% mark, and then that 10 to 20% that you party, and then you clean it up. So optimal health is now starting to take those things and it's starting to tweak them so that your body makes its short chain fatty acids again, so that you get rid of the acid reflux that you have. The brain fog goes away. It's looking at your organic acids and how are your mitochondria doing? Did you even know? And this is something that modern medicine has failed us with. Did you know you can measure how your mitochondria are doing and how they're producing energy? And see, if you didn't know that question, then you're probably new to the optimal health thing. But I'm here to let you know that you can actually figure that out. And so you have the chemical aspect, you have the microbiome aspect, we have neurotransmitters that we can measure, and then it's bringing things into your lifestyle that allows you to bring those up so that you not only don't have pain, but you feel fabulous. And then you get over illnesses quicker. You don't get ill as often. You can run and play with your children, grandchildren, and great grandchildren. You can get up and down off the floor, or you can even go carry your own luggage through the airport, or you can live on your own and take care of yourself. These are what knowing what is optimal is all about. So when you're looking at that optimal type of lifestyle, start simple. Start with knowing what your insulin is. Start with knowing what your CBC is, and then starting to tweak from there. And then, yes, get a microbiome test, get an organic acids test, and start to work on those and really see how good you can feel. Because there's so much more to life than taking a handful of pills to survive. And pain free is just survival. And this is kind of a shorter one, but this is something to get you to change your thinking, to really think about what you're doing and are you helping your body serve you. I just was noticing in the camera, it's measuring your sleep. Do you optimize how you sleep? And so that goes back to the 5 pillars of health. Every functional medicine doctor that I know deals with basically 5 pillars of lifestyle: sleep, nutrition, exercise, stress, and community. And so you start to optimize those things, then you start to feel better, and then you really want to make sure you're hitting on all cylinders, whether that's 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, or 32, or whatever. Those are the things that you need to take care of to actually feel your best. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us. I'm Dr. Miller, Dr. Miller at integratedhealthofindiana.com. And if you want to schedule your 20-minute free consult, feel free to call us at 812-346-1755.